everyone. Hi, Aya. How are you?
Good, alive and well. Sana ikaw din. So, hi cuties. Welcome to daldalang, walang curfew.
Usapang hindi nalalockdown. Welcome to QuaranTALK. So, good evening, everyone. And today is the 77th day in quarantine. Pero, of course, dito sa Metro Manila, nasa GCQ na tayo. Kamusta, Aya?
Yeah, ang daming nangyayari sa paligid. So, let's give our cuties an update on the latest numbers of our COVID-19, the status. Jules, can we flash it on screen?
Kita nyo ang ating latest count as of 4 p.m. Mas naging maaga sila ngayon kasi for the past days, di ba, naging 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock nila nare-release kasi biglang may pag-shoot up ng numbers, and ang explanation nga ng DOH dito, merong fresh at merong mga late cases. Anyway, let's talk about the cases today. Tingnan po ninyo ang inyong mga screen. Ang total cases natin today ay nasa 18,638 cases all in all. Ang death toll po natin nasa 960 at ang total recoveries natin nasa 3,979.
And for today, new cases reported today ay 552 confirmed cases. We have 3 new deaths reported today, and 70 more patients have recovered. That's the report that came in today. So again, para lang linawin ng kaunti yung biglang pagtaas ng bilang since I think it was Thursday or Friday when we saw a sharp increase in the tally of the confirmed cases. It was because the Department of Health has been trying to keep up with the backlog of the cases there are tests from different laboratories, and before siya mabilang sa official tally, kailangan mo na siyang ma-validate ng epidemiology department ng Department of Health, bureau, of the Department of Health. To give everyone an update, sa testing capacity or sa testing assignments ng government, according to the news.abs-cbn.com article, Red Cross accounts for 45% of the total tests done in the Philippines. Private laboratories are in charge of 21%. That's according to Vince Dizon, who's also in charge of the testings. And the state-run Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, or RITM, they're in charge of the 16% of the tests done. And other government facilities account for the 18% tests done so far. So from these laboratories, kailangan pa yan i-validate before mag-reflect dito sa 4 p.m. or the daily tally released by the Department of Health. And according also to this news article, the government, and naririnig naman natin to sa ilang mga press conferences ng government, the goal is to test at least 2% of the population. And as of May 30th, I think that was Saturday, we are at 0.05. 0.5 pa lang ang natitest.
Okay. Yeah. So, tingnan natin kung anong mga magiging next plans. We're expecting a report either today or within the week because obliged ang presidente na mag-release ng report lagi from the executive every Monday or Tuesday. Well, Monday nakalagay dun sa Bayanihan Law, pero abangan natin for tomorrow. Okay, next,
I-add ko lang for this, meron to give our viewers an update or an idea, 6,800 tests pa ang hinihintay na ma-validate as of today. Monday. So we have 6,800 tests waiting to be validated, and then detained Senator Leila de Lima has also filed a resolution calling for the probe on the real status of the testing capacity and the testing efforts of the government. And that's another article that you can look up and read through. So we hope that ma-improve yung testing capacity natin and data reporting.
Okay. All right. So our next news is GCQ. Okay. So today is the first day of the general community quarantine in Metro Manila and several provinces surrounding Metro Manila. So nakita natin kanina yung pila ng mga kababayan natin, mga commuters na nag-aabang. Alam nila, marami sa kanila may alam na wala rin naman sila masasakyan ng mga jeeps at mga buses, pero nagbabaka sakali pa rin iba sa kanila. Kasi nga, may isang story kanina na cover ng friend natin, si Jervis Manahan ng ABS-CBN. As early as 3 a.m., isang security guard from Fairview, naglalakad na siya papunta sa office niya sa Makati. Imagine that walk, Aya, di ba? From Fairview to Makati, nilakad na yon. So ito yung ilan sa mga impact nitong policy na pinasa na gawing GCQ ang Metro Manila. To be honest, I totally, frankly, I do not understand na inopen yung economy once again, pero itong mga commuters natin, yung mga workers natin, wala rin namang masasakyan. I mean, meron din namang mga na-provide na iba't ibang mga buses na pwedeng pasakyan from the end of the government, and yung MRT bukas na rin naman, pero hindi naman accessible ito sa lahat ng mga workers. So ilan lang to sa mga naging impact ng reopening ng economy today.
Yes, and kailangan natin i-acknowledge no na hindi lahat ng negosyo ay may kakayahan pa na i-shoulder yung mga private shuttles and private vehicles to ferry their workers. Mm-hmm. But also, yung mga buses available, they're on the major thoroughfares. Yung mga kailangan na tricycles and jeeps, yun yung hindi pinayagang pumasada. Mm-hmm. And some tricycles in some areas are allowed to go na, pero mayroong added fee. I think there's a 25% increase yung mga special fees ng mga tricycles kasi syempre para makabawi sila. And mabigat din yun sa bulsa ng mga manggagawa na kailangan pumasok araw-araw, no? Mm-hmm. So I hope we can get an answer. Maybe we'll research or try to get in touch with someone to understand kung bakit may lapse na ganito sa transportation natin, which I think is one of the major concerns ngayon ng mga netizens if you've seen the posts throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And it's not happening just in Manila. Sa Pampanga, ganun din. Nag-pile up humaba yung traffic because of this. Pero yun, marami pa rin talagang naghahanap ng masasakyan. So you see the private vehicles on the streets while others are walking and waiting for public transport.
Ayun, so tingnan natin kung paano sabi nga nila, Ea, di ba, parang Survivor Philippines laro yung mangyari today. Kasi nga, hindi rin naman tayo sure kung talagang wala na ba talaga yung COVID, pero the reality is nandyan lang siya, pero we had to reopen economy kasi nga hindi na rin kaya ng funds ng ating gobyerno na magbigay ng pondo sa lahat. Okay. Alright, our next part is QuaranTRENDS. Okay, and here in QuaranTRENDS, we select a topic na syempre trending sa buong Pilipinas or sa buong mundo. And of course, our main topic for tonight is...
Yeah, it's the... over the weekend, nag-trend itong Black Lives Matter. I think it was Friday when news surfaced about George Floyd, who was killed by a white police officer in Atlanta. Yeah, so if you've seen this video went viral, which has sparked outrage across the US and different countries, actually. So the man pleaded for his life, actually, kasi he was accosted actually by the police, no, for sabi nagbigay daw siya ng counterfeited money or bill. I think it was a $20 sa isang convenience store. And yeah, the police officer was kneeling on his neck and he pleaded that that he couldn't breathe. And 6 minutes into this position, he went unresponsive, and then 8 minutes after, wala na siyang pulse daw. And 1 hour after he was taken away to be rushed to the hospital, he was declared dead. So, Jules?
Yeah, so right after that, of course, nag-spark yan ng galit. Not only in the US, but in several countries as well. Kung mapapansin natin, nagkaroon ng riots doon mismo sa state na yan and several states right now, despite the fact na ang US pa rin ang #1 ngayon sa pinakamaraming COVID cases. Pero yun nga, nakita natin na talagang lumabas na mabahay itong iba't ibang mga Amerikano dahil nga sa galit sa nangyari. Even Hollywood stars, nakita natin sa social media na talagang nakisali sila dyan. Kanina may mga videos tayo from UK, from Italy, Germany, and Canada. They are all protesting and of course, advocating for Black Lives Matter. Kaya nga, yan yung trending na hashtag. Actually, not only in this case, matagal na nagtitrend yan. May debate nga, kung bakit hindi all lives matter at bakit Black Lives Matter. May ang isang basic explanation dyan is it's a case-to-case basis, especially for this one. Diba? Kasi sila pinaka-dehado dito sa part na to. So why would you parang enjoin the other issues kung ito rin lang naman yung pinaka-issue? So, nakakatuwa naman na may ibang narratives din na lumalabas sa yan, ng mga police mismo, yung mga chief of police ng iba't ibang states. Sila mismo yung nangunguna sa pag-march with the protesters. So, it only goes to show na there's hope, diba? There's hope na makinig itong mga police kasi police brutality ang pinaka-issue dito sa Black Lives Matter na to. And of course, it's a systemic problem for the longest time. And yeah, basically, ito yung pinaka-reason kung bakit trending siya despite the pandemic today.
Yeah, the police officer was charged with murder. Pero it could have been a much graver, I guess, charge against him, but because of some underlying health conditions and other factors, hindi hanggang dun lang yung charge, no? He was charged with murder. But also locally, some Filipinos are also tweeting about this, also calling the attention of people that this injustice and discrimination and police brutality, these things have been happening around us, anywhere in the world, even in the Philippines. There's also the case of Winston Ragos, who was shot dead just last month. And there's the 17-year-old Kian de los Santos who was, he was a 17-year-old who was caught in the middle of the crackdown on illegal drugs by this government. So there are several instances of police violence, police brutality, and racism has been around, and it's 2020, but we're still facing this same social issues. So today, we will talk about this timely issue, but we will look at it from a different perspective. So for QuaranTHINKING, we will highlight activism, but this time we'll highlight creative activism in the presence of the different tools that we have now in the different social media platforms. How are we taking this discourse? How are we mainstreaming the issues that should be talked about and the causes that we're fighting for? So tonight we'll talk about creative activism, and I think this is gonna be a fun interview because we have someone who's also fun to talk to. So Jules, you might want to introduce our guest for tonight.
Yeah, so he's actually a friend and a schoolmate way back hindi kami nag-abot sa high school, pero grade school siya nung 4th year at ako 3rd year ako. And he's also an scholar ng bayan. And for the past weeks since the lockdowns, yung group niya ay gumawa sila ng parang ambagan, barangay ambagan, something like that yung tag nila. So nag-aambagan, humingi siya ng ambag sa mga tao para makagawa sila ng mga PPEs. So sobrang dami nilang PPEs na nabigay sa iba't ibang mga hospitals sa buong Pilipinas. So on that end, syempre, mahalagang pag-usapan natin yan, yung viral. Nag-viral yung mga TikTok niya kasi kaya creative activism yung pinag-uusapan natin kasi ginamit niya yung platform ng TikTok para syempre mag-educate ng mga kababayan at to disrupt the people from their comfort. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome here on QuaranTALK, Dora Dorado. Hi, Dora! Can you hear us?
Dora, I think, can you hear me, Dora?
Ay, wala pa pala siyang mic. Okay. Okay, Dora, hello? Can you hear us?
Dora, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't hear Jules.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, exit mo na siya. Babalik si Jules.
Ayan, here. I can see you now.
Okay, perfect.
Ayan. Okay. Dora.
Hi.
We'll start with the getting to know you game. It's not really a game, but
Kaya kami may mga bilog sa likod.
Roulette pala.
may dare per color. Okay. So Dora, we've seen some of your videos on TikTok. Maybe we'll show at least one. Jules, can we flash at least
Sure.
one? Parang sa ating mga cuties who are tuned in.
Ito, gusto ko to. I-zoom ko lang muna ha, para makita nila.
Ito yung most common arguments ginagamit ng friends natin. Na kapag ginamit nila sa'yo, mag-isip-isip ka na kung sasalit ka pa. Kasi baka sayang sa oras. Number 1, ad hominem. Ito yung pag ginitap mo ng character pero hindi yung idea. Halimbawa, tanong ko yung life yung normal. Bakit kami makikinig sa'yo, ebading ka? Number 2, strawman fallacy. Hindi nila i-refute yung original argument mo, pero gagawa sila ng longer version nito using exaggeration and misrepresentation para mapahina ang ma-destroy nila yung argument mo. Halimbawa, sana this pandemic mas palakasin natin ang healthcare system at hindi yung military. Bawal nga daw sa checkpoint, so dapat mas malakasin yung military. Hindi to fallacy, pero kapag sinunod ka ng edeko na mag-presidente, huwag ka na sumagot, talo ka na. Lastly, false dichotomy. They're gonna make you seem like dalawa lang yung choices, hindi naman. Parang ayaw yung color red for this room. Ano gusto mo? Dilaw. Hindi naman kailangan pala or dilaw lang. Sa 2022, mas maraming color. So, let's exercise or to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Dora, so...
Yeah, that was one of my favorites too.
We see some creative videos that you've been putting out. Can you tell us about your background? Are you an artist? Are you a filmmaker or anything? Can you hear me na?
Can you hear us?
Yes. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Si Aya yung wala.
Oh, sige, i-hide ko muna siya. Okay, she was asking kung ano ba yung background mo, kung bakit ka nakapag-produce bigla ng ganitong klaseng content na viral.
Ano lang, kasi we started with this charity thing because yun nga, parang we saw that the government was underperforming. And then parang from there, may nagsabi sa akin, it was called donors fatigue. Na parang, donors fatigue. And then parang it hit me. Tapos parang bigla na ako pumitik. So nagrant ako sa first video ko. And then from there, nagtuloy-tuloy na siya. Yeah. Kaya ayun.
What was the first viral content that you had?
Can you hear Aya?
I can't hear Aya. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Teka, exit ko muna siya uli Okay, she was asking kung ano yung pinaka-first viral content na lumabas. Alam ko yun eh.
Yeah.
Nasubaybayan ko yan eh. Ito yung, ano nga yun? Ang dami kong videos na nandito sa downstream ko. Mass testing ba?
Yes, it was a mass testing one. The one with the white sand though.
Yeah, can you hear Aya now? Aya, can you sing?
A, B, C,
I can't
D,
see
E, F,
or
G.
hear Aya.
Wala pa rin.
Yeah.
Okay, just you.
Okay, I'll be an owl na lang. Okay, wait lang.
Pakita muna natin yung video first video niya.
Okay.
Okay guys, yung video na to kasi irita na talaga. Okay, 2 months na. Wala pa rin tayong mass testing. 2 months na. Wala pa rin tayong mass testing. Tapos kanina pinapasok na yung mga trabaho kasi naman hindi naman sila na-expose sa virus. Paano mo malaman kung hindi na-expose kung hindi ka nag-contact trace? Tapos hindi ka makapag-contact trace kasi wala kang mass testing. Ang bobo kasi. Tapos ipapasok na daw ngayon sa private sector. Ibig sabihin ng April, meron na daw plans for mass testing. Ano, kailangan ba naman sila ng bad romance para mag-mass testing dito? Nakakairita na kasi. Tapos, what's worse? Ano yung pa rin sumusuporta kay Duterte? Hindi ko na-get. 2 months. 380 billion. Tayo pa rin pinamata sa fatality rate sa Southeast Asia. So next time bumoto kayo, para hindi naman tayo nagkakaganito. Ang bobo kasi ng mga nasa taas eh.
Okay.
Hi!
Dora, nakita mo na kami?
Can you hear me na, Dora?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I don't see Jules.
Okay, Aya, go ahead.
Okay. And so, Dora, I think that was the first, this was about mass testing, the video that you showed them. And it was really, ang maganda sa mga videos mo, you actually did some research on the videos that you have. So, tell us about, how did your followers receive your first video?
Well, the first video kasi parang, I think, it was like a mutual feeling with everyone na everyone was so frustrated lang talaga with everything that's happening. So when I let out my frustration, parang naging spark lang siya for all my followers and everyone who's seen the video who share the same sentiments. So parang maraming haters, of course, as in nagpa-flood sila. Pero nagpa-flood din naman yung mga nag-agree and nagsusupport. And parang hindi ko na lang talaga binabasa yung mga nag-hate. Pero it was very well received. I think nasa 400,000 views ata yung video on Twitter. On Twitter alone. Iba pa yung sa TikTok and sa Facebook.
Jules?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so after nung nag-viral yung first video mo, na-feel ko yung giggle mo doon, umiinom ka pa nga ata, from bad trip eh. Ay, nakakatuwa dito kasi Dora is a fantastic, fabulous dancer. Sobrang galing sumayaw nito. Since high school pa lang, actually grade school pa lang, sobrang galing yan sumayaw. So, na-marry mo kasi yung pagsasayaw mo, so you entertain people at the same time, pero at the same time, you're trying to disrupt people by saying facts or the truth of the matter, no? So, paano mo naisip na gumawa na ng series right after? Parang nag-udyok sa'yo na, sige, tutuloy-tuloy ko na lang to.
Oh, kasi nung first kong video, actually nung first 2 ko, it was yung very touchy, yung mass testing and then yung DDS and religious people. Yun yung first 2 videos ko. And then I received a lot of messages from kids mostly na parang they were saying na thank you for making videos kasi hindi namin yun nasasabi sa bahay or ang tagal na namin gustong sabihin na nasa silence kasi sila ng family nila or ng friends nila, ganon. And not even yung mga, pati mga friends ko na yung mga brand people din na parang they can't really post about that. So may message nila ako na, uy, thank you for using your platform. So parang from there, sabi ko, you know what? Wala naman ako ginagawa masyado. So, tuloy-tuloy na lang din natin. Kasi it's like, it takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my day to shoot the video. So sabi ko, 1 minute lang naman. So I guess why not? So ayun.
Actually, you touched on that important matter on brands and the restrictions that some people feel. What is it like for you? Because I understand you're a freelancer. Pero you have some personal standards when it comes to, deciding what to put out and how it relates to your livelihood. So, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, as a freelancer, diba, parang you don't want to touch yung mga subjects na ganon, politics and religion. Yung very two sensitive topics. Kasi it cuts off your market. So parang ako, if it cuts off my market, it does. Pero I'm gonna attract the clients and the people who agree with me, have the same stances as me. Kasi parang, ang pangat din naman if I deliberately work with people who are against my rights or who are against other people's rights. Parang hindi rin naman, parang ang hypocrite ko naman if gano'n yung gagawin ko. So parang good move na rin na I attract people who have the same beliefs as me.
Okay. Buzzword yung hypocrisy na yan, Dora. Kasi in one of your videos, di ba parang yun yung pinapatamaan mo, especially now, di ba yung Black Lives Matter, yung hashtag na yan, it's trending everywhere. And some I suppose, sana most Filipinos support this movement. Pero at the same time, parang sinampal mo sila sa katotohanan na sige, Black Lives Matter kayo. Pero yung mga issues mismo dito sa Pilipinas, parang at iba-iba naman yung posisyon nyo. So, ano yung take mo sa issue na to about hypocrisy of other Filipinos?
Meron kasing selective sympathy talaga na yung Philippines eh. And parang it's not even our fault na meron tayong selective sympathy. It roots from the 333 years of colonization. It roots from Western imperialism. It roots from our yung pagtangkilik sa papaya soap. It roots from that na we put their priorities and their welfare over ours na hindi naman dapat. Kasi I don't want to discredit everyone's support of Black Lives Matter. I mean, it's valid. It's right that we support it. But then, yun nga, sana kasabay ng pag-support natin ganun. Parang we look in din. Kasi ang daming parang equal movements dito of Black Lives Matter na hindi napapansin. Kasi nga, we look down on ourselves and we don't really see yung minorities natin as important as we see yung mga nasa Western countries.
Ikaw, Dora, what are some of the topics that really trigger you? What do you feel strongly about na hindi ka talaga mapipigilang hindi mag-comment?
Well, yung first kasi yung religious DDS, I've talked about this with my parents kasi my mom is a supporter of Duterte. So parang we've had a lot of dinner talks about this na parang it all ends up na parang respetuhin mo na lang yung opinion ko, ganyan-ganyan. So parang ako kasi, well, if your opinion tramples other people's rights, I don't really need to respect it, ganyan-ganyan. So parang very ganun kami sa family. So parang yun yung mga hindi ko talaga kinakaya. Human rights, I don't, parang ano rin. Kaya I released din a video yung kanina, yung about sa arguments. I swear, I can't stand stupidity. I'm not claiming to be super smart, but then I know I'm not stupid naman. So parang hindi ko rin kinakaya yung arguments of stupidity. So now, on my list na hindi ako mapipigilan, I'm gonna post about the terror bill soon. I'm gonna post about, yung pagkatangkilik sa Western culture too much that we don't really see our own culture anymore. So yun yung mga topics na medyo unstoppable ako.
Laura, it's very interesting na banggit mo yung relations mo with your mom na she's a supporter of the administration, tapos you strongly go against the policies of the administration, and most likely maraming mga family sa buong Pilipinas yung may same situation. And ikaw as a very loud siguro parang oppositionist on the position on the policies of the government. How do you suggest people like you should handle things like this in their own homes? Kasi that's also this is very tricky, especially for advocates, lalo na yung mga campaigners, yung mga activists mismo. Sometimes they really go fight, go very loud on social media or outside in the streets, pero right in their very home, hindi nila mahamig or ma-encourage yung family, close members nila mismo. So how do you think that could reconcile? Paano ka magre-reconcile on that matter?
If I got the question right, paano nila i-deliver sa family nila yung...
Yeah.
Ako, I started with, kasi if you go into a conversation or an argument, and if you attack it ng attack mode talaga, your family members are gonna close off their doors right away. Right? Kasi if you attack yung beliefs nila, they're gonna attack you back. So ako, my suggestion is this is what I did. I exposed my mom to like news, mga facts, ganon. Tapos parang, she's also a Marcos apologist. So parang lately pinipilit ko siyang manood ng Kingmaker. Parang I do not want to be the one to deliver it to her. I want yung other forms of media na hindi na pwedeng kontrahin yun. Kanyari, yung kay Winston Ragos. Undeniably, police brutality siya. Tapos walang ginawa. So ano pang ibibigay nila? Ano pang iko-contra nila doon? So if you deliver facts, parang feed nyo ng onting news, ganon. Or wag nyo muna sabihin na administration gumawa. Sabihin nyo, may naaping ganito, ganyan. Tapos kapag nalaman na sinong gumawa, edi parang magiging on the scale sila of do they agree na ganun yung nangyari or do they agree na ganun yung ginawa. So ganun. Feeling ko, you should let news and facts and movies, documentaries, feed niya lang ng onte. Kasi yun yung mag-open up ng doors nila.
Yeah, so Dora, thank you for may mga tips tayo ngayon on how to properly advocate and even influence those people. Especially mahirap kapag ka-close mo yung tao tapos may mga arguments, minsan heated arguments na, pero may iba naglalaban talaga tayo. This June, it's Pride Month.
Yes, it is.
It's been a very, parang annually, lagi tayong may campaigns, lagi tayong may pinaglalaban na na-amplify this June. But for you, as an activist, what is your call now for Pride Month?
For Pride Month, I think, lalo na sumabay itong Black Lives Matter and di ba parang pumutok yung news ng looting, ng rioting, na mali daw yung ginagawa, yung pagpa-protest. I think for Pride Month, I think we should all remember that yung na-enjoy, I don't even want to call it privilege kasi to call it a privilege, it means yung ibang tao wala. Yung rights na meron na yung LGBTQIA+ community ngayon, it's because of riots, it's because of protests, it's because of movements that were done in the past. Parang a lot of people sacrificed it, a lot of people disrupted the status quo, violence occurred para lang ma-attain ng LGBT community yung meron kami ngayon. So parang for me, we should go back to appreciating the power of movement and the power of being together towards one goal. So yun yung call to action ko sana for the LGBT community. That's Pride Month.
Happy Pride sa'yo, Dora, at saka sa lahat ng viewers natin. Happy Pride. Okay, we have a very interesting question dito. This is from Jermaine Derunia, Ate Main. Okay, so ang question niya, ano ang masasabi ni Dora sa mga taong nag-gatekeep ng mga advocacies at activism? At anong masasabi mo na useless at performative lang ang pagpo-post sa social media?
Okay. Sorry, ano yung nag-gatekeep? Hindi ako familiar with the term.
Parang mga tao, for example, I think is, kunwari, ito sana nag-trend itong Black Lives Matter over the weekend. Merong uso sa Instagram, di ba? Yung parang shake na
yung
picture on Instagram stories. And some people started it. But then some people on Twitter now called it out na parang, that's not parang that's not enough, it's not effective, or na parang nada-downplay yung issue because it's becoming like just a viral piece of content. So yun, something like that. And some people are parang they're the ones saying what's supposed to be the proper way of being vocal about something. So yeah, something like that.
Parang ano siya double-edged sword yung nangyari on Instagram. Kasi, I think the motive was to start a conversation about it. Na parang, pag-usapan natin to, ganyan-ganyan. And then, I saw this, one of the Jenners, I don't know if si Kendall or si Kylie, pinost niya yung 10 tags ng friends. But then, hindi na niya na-post yung Black Lives Matter. So, parang naging game na lang siya. So, I think, lalo na for people who have the platform, who have the influence, I think it has to go beyond that. If I'm a normal citizen, parang sharing or tagging the post, I could say that's enough. Kasi parang, what else can you do? Pero yung mga merong may influence and may platform talaga, I think it has to go beyond that. I think you should speak up about it. Parang, solidify your statement on it, kung ano ba talaga yung stand mo on it. Kasi, sharing a hashtag is sharing a hashtag. But sharing your thoughts and sharing your statements, sharing your opinions on it, I think that speaks volumes kesa compared to that. So I think, yes, it does start a conversation about it. At least pinapag-usapan na siya, yung Black Lives Matter, ng mas maraming tao. But I think there are people who need to step up to the plate and talk about it pa. Ayun. Pero, I don't want to hate on people who's playing the game kasi when you see it on your feed, oy, Black Lives Matter ulit to. Oy, Black Lives Matter ulit to. So guys, parang you see yung impact ng nangyayari na, yun lang naman. Pero, who am I?
What you're saying, Dora, from how I understand it, parang the moment you use that hashtag or any hashtag na merong siguro sensitive topic, kailangan may added value ka. Yung tipong hindi ka lang nakasakay na, uy, trending to, baka kuha ako ng mga likes, ipopost ko to. So, you should go more than that.
Yeah, and also when you say Black Lives Matter, Also, again, I'm going back. When you say Black Lives Matter and then you're Filipino, dapat you also stand for no lumad killing, stop the displacement of ITAS. Like, parang you can't be selective na Black Lives Matter pero hindi ka papansinin yung mga nangyayari dito. Kasi parang hindi, again, the term will come up again na hypocritical kasi siya. And it's, may dissonance doon. So, ayun.
Yeah. And Dora was also saying, no, na in any form that you speak up about these things, you're kind of raising awareness for
Yeah.
people na dinaanan ng post mo. So it at least adds to the raising the awareness of people on these issues. And let's start. But if you have the position and if you have the influence and the platform, you should really, parang the call of duty is higher for those people, no? Parang with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
To maximize your platform. So, siguro, Dora, let's touch on that. Every video that you post, ang gusto ko dyan, bukod sa it's well-researched, meron kang call to action sa dulo.
Yeah.
Can you tell us
Yes.
your call to action? Because it's important.
Yes. Kasi, I had a lot of friends before who were very, very close to me, very important to me. And then nung voting season nung 2018, am I right? Nung 2018.
19?
2019. Nung voting season 2019, when I asked them, sino binoto nila, ganyan, hindi sila nag-vote or nakalimutan nila mag-register, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, parang, come quarantine season, biglang dami na nilang reklamo, dami na nilang, kasi affected na sila. Ang dami na nilang kuda, kasi affected na sila. And then parang ako, okay, siguro ito yung yung parang turning point mo na, shit, I need to be, oh my God, sorry.
Okay lang.
Ayun. Parang siguro ito na yung turning point mo na you can't be apolitical. Your actions and your lifestyle will always be a reflection of how politics has affected you. So parang you can't be apolitical. So parang every video I make it a point to say to vote on 2020. Kasi it's the only, parang as a citizen, it's one of the best ways you can,
Right.
yeah, you can change how the Philippines will be in a decade's time. Yeah.
Right, that's correct because voting is your most direct way to participate in governance. Kasi
Yes.
you're given the power to choose, 'di ba, every 3 years. So, yeah, tama yung ginagawa mo kasi ang laki ng reach mo and sa 1 minute na yan, given na maiksi lang yung attention span ng mga tao ngayon, at least na isasama mo doon sa dulo. Pero maganda yung sinabi mo, Dora, na until na naapektuhan sila. 'Di ba? Kasi people care less on issues kasi hindi naman sila naapektuhan.
Yeah.
Pero until it happens to them, doon sila doon sila magagalit. So let's talk about empathy, 'di ba? Empathy is a very parang hindi siya given sa lahat ng mga tao eh. So in your platform Dora, how do you hope to promote empathy or urge everyone to empathize in different issues kahit na hindi sila apektado?
Well, ayoko magbuhat ng bangko, pero I think my videos and the way I'm speaking and the things I'm talking about is parang ang pangit pakinggan, pero leading by example. Kasi in UP, sobrang exposed tayo sa lahat ng mali na nangyayari. Like everything. As in everything talaga. Hindi ko malalaman yung about sa lumad killings if it wasn't for my friends na red. Tapos I wouldn't know about yung ITA displacements if it wasn't for my other activist friends. So parang ako, as far as empathy goes, parang the least everyone who is watching my videos can do is research on it and be informed on it. Kasi you can't really be extremely empathic if you don't understand the situation fully eh. Parang yung resolve mo, sobrang nipes if hindi mo alam yung nangyayari talaga. So I think data, information, and knowledge on certain issues will, if you parang learn the reality of it, dun ka mas mapupush to be empathic towards others. So,
Okay.
yun.
Nawala
si Ea pala.
Yeah, nawala siya.
Okay.
Babalik siya mamaya siguro. Okay, so tinanong ko rin tong question na to kay Janina Vela. Isa rin siyang YouTuber naman siya. And recently, nag-shift naman siya ng content niya from beauty vlog. Naging ano naman siya ngayon, naging political na rin yung mga content niya. So yung question ko sa kanya, gusto ko rin tanungin sa'yo. Kasi ngayon sa social media, well sa internet, you can search for anything. And you can search for information that could fit your biases. Gets mo?
Yeah.
So, kunwari kung bias ako sa ganito, kahit na hindi siya tama sa iba, may makukuha ko information and this could back me up. Diba? So, paano, ano yung pwede mong tips siguro sa mga viewers natin and sa followers mo rin na kapag nagre-research sila, paano nila masasabi na ito yung katotohanan? Ito yung parang universal truth na dapat sundan talaga.
Ayun, when I research about things, I try to be as objective as I can be. Na parang, ang pangit kasi pakinggan, kasi parang naging self-righteous ako, but then I'm humble enough to know na, may mali pala dun sa sa kipinost ko. Kasi parang, what happened then with one of my videos is, nag-post ako about flattening the curve in one of my videos.
Yeah.
And then, parang, ang dami nagsasend sa akin ng link about flattening the curve. So parang sabi ko, wait, may mali ba akong ginawa? May mali ba akong na-implant sa brain ko? So I researched on it, ganyan. Tapos, surprisingly, mali nga ako. So kasi meron silang universal science term about flattening the curve na hindi ko pala alam na yun yung meaning niya.
I saw that video. It was the trend and the slope.
Yes.
Yeah. And you actually put on your caption, parang there was a text overlay correcting yourself that you meant it was supposed to be trend, not slope.
Yeah. Tapos parang the next 1-minute video, ay kinote ko na yung sa UP COVID-19 pandemic response team kung ano ba talaga yung buong flattening the curve na to. So parang ayun, kasi parang 'di ba now parang hindi naman nag-flatten yung curve ganyan. Yun na yung bias ko ng first Hindi na nag-flatten yung curve, pataas tayo ng pataas, ganyan. Tapos yun pala, iba pala yung sinasabi ng government about flattening the curve to sa understanding ko. So parang yun, about biases, I think it's, mahirap siyang gawin kasi if you wanna prove something, you're gonna get the most evidence you can to support yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Pero I think dapat then there will come a time na mananotice mo na lang na you're so deep into it. What if let's look at the other side? Ganyan. Kung ano. Kasi, before I post, fun fact, before I post my videos, I talked to 5 law students and 2 attorneys. Sinasend ko yung script ko sa kanila. And then, before ko i-post yung video, binigay ko sa kanila para ma-review nila. And then sila yung nagsabi, okay yan, wala siyang butas or wala siyang lusot. Ganon. Ibig sabihin, parang it's objective enough. And if it is opinionated, medyo backed up siya by facts.
Mm.
So, ayun. Kaya, doon ko medyo siya binabalance yung about sa pagkukuha ko ng data, gano'n.
Yeah. So, I think at least there's due diligence for content creators to actually research and make sure that they're not propagators of fake news, diba? And the facts and the data are there. So Dora, tell us about your vision or your hope for us Filipinos, especially for the youth. We're always on social media, but how are we using our voices and our platforms for activism? Especially with the anti-terror bill now.
Oh my God.
Over our heads.
Sana lang, you know what, now that I'm 24, parang I was thinking na in 2 years time, ang dami na namang voters na bata. Ang dami na namang 18-year-olds na bata. And I think we don't realize kung gaano tayo kadami and kung gaano tayo ka-powerful. And hindi ito based by statistical fact. Pero I think mas objective tayo and ang bilis nating mag-switch ng kunyari, I'm supporting this side. Ay, shit, may mali. So I'm gonna find another one. Parang ang bilis nating tumanggap ng facts na ang bilis nating mag-accept ng data. Also because of social media, ang galing din nating mag-research, ang galing nating maghanap ng resibo. Sinabi niya to dati, ganyan-ganyan. So I think my call to action for the youth is be more informed, be more active, ganyan. And pakita tayo sa in person, i-mobilize natin yung heads natin. Kasi at this point, at the rate this government is going, I don't think we're gonna improve any parang significantly by the end of his term. So parang for everyone lang, for all the youth out there, and for all the boomers na open-minded pa rin, I think we should all be really, really informed, armed with knowledge and information. Kasi I think it's the best weapon talaga.
Okay. Dora, as we wrap up, ano ang pwede mong i-address sa mga haters mo? Kasi for sure, meron kang mga sectors, mga groups na talagang tinamaan from the religious side, from the political side. So, anong masasabi mo sa kanila?
Ang masasabi ko sa inyo, I love you all. You're watching my content. Thank you. You know what? Ang dami nang gumagawa ng reaction video sa akin on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. And I think may pinanood akong YouTube video, one YouTube video. And yung comments, mixed pa rin siya even if yung followers nung person is very that side. So mixed siya. So I thank you for watching me. Thank you for sharing it kasi it's reaching more people. Thank you for the engagement. It boosts up my I have more followers because of you now. So ayun. Thank you to my haters. I think sila yung pinaka nagbo-boost ng posts ko. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ayun.
And keeps the conversation going. So Dora,
it keeps the conversation
it's
going.
time to plug your platforms. Where can people find you?
Okay. On Instagram, I'm at 6'1" crybaby. On Twitter, I'm at Dora hahaha. And on TikTok, I'm at Dora Dorado. Yes.
Okay. Kung nakalimutan ko i-tag yung Twitter mo kanina, natawa na lang kasi. Dora, thank you so much for doing this. For using your platforms to be more, socially relevant. Kasi ito yung mahalaga ngayon lalo na karamihan sa mga kababayan natin naka-connect na yun sa mga phones nila. So kailangan natin ng content na babagabag sa makaisipan nila. Maraming salamat, Dora Dorado.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Jules, let's before we wrap, we go to our next segment. Let's show another clip of Dora.
Yeah. Anong gusto mo?
Any. Malahat naman, maganda yung may research, yung may graphs in the background.
Second wave.
Yeah, that one. That is nice.
This is a wave. Meron siyang peak and then meron siyang depression. Bago magsimula ng second wave, kailangan mo nang matapos yung first wave. This is a visual presentation of what a wave looks like. And this is a visual graph of the active cases in South Korea. As you can see, nag-peak siya and then nag-depress na siya. Pag nag-peak ulit, yun na yung second wave nila. This is a graph of our active cases here in our country. As you can see, nag-peak pa lang siya. Hindi pa siya nag-decrease. And that's why, nasa first wave pa rin tayo ng COVID-19. Also, I want to say in this video that in this certain subject, I do agree with Harry Rocket. And ganun kasi dapat, kapag feeling mo tama yung sinasabi, i-affirm mo. And pag mali, dun mo siya i-criticize. Yun yung concept na feeling ko kailangan natin mag-gets lahat. Also, the past few days have been crazy. Sobrang thankful ako sa lahat na nagsusupport sa akin. So, this one is for you.
Cheers.
Malalagpasan din natin to.
Hindi siya sumayaw. Usually sumasayaw siya. Pero yun, di ba? Imagine, within 1 minute, kaya niyang magbigay ng information tapos nakakainom pa siya and everything.
At madalas yan, meron pa siyang mga thumbnail and yung mga dance moves pa si Dora. So yun, for me, ang galing lang kapag when you use your creativity to get the message across, I'd like to think mas nakaka-open siya ng mind. People are more receptive or like they're relaxed and then they're just watching you and they're being entertained. And then you insert something that's gonna make them think. And I think that's the power of creative activism when you can insert the meat of your message through something that is more entertaining and more palatable to people.
From my end, it's all about engagement Kasi whether or not naman sabihin mo, kahit anong sabihin mo, meron at merong mag-go against sa mga stands mo. So, why not just say it? Diba? Kasi ang mahalaga, you engage. Kasi, kunwari, for trolls, of course, kapag mag-engage ka with trolls, sayang oras mo. Pero ang stand ko kasi lagi dyan, engage at least once. Para pag nabasa ng ibang mga tao, merong mga babangga doon sa sinasabi ng troll. Kasi kung hayaan mo lang siya magstay doon at walang bumangga sa argument niya, baka isipin ng tao na baka ito yung tama. Diba? So maganda yung ganyan na tuloy-tuloy tayo mag-engage sa mga tao kahit na taliwas yung mapaniniwala nila sa'yo.
Yeah, tsaka reminder na, tsaka kailangan i-highlight yung paggamit ng facts and proper arguments, especially when we're dealing with sensitive topics like this one. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic. We have to be mindful of misinformation also. So, maganda na may facts na inilalatag and that we're not attacking the person, but the argument, and that we keep the respect there. And whenever we engage on social media.
Okay. Alright, our last part is, siyempre, anong ambag mo? Okay, dito sa anong ambag mo, we feature trending na mga initiatives na ambag ng mga grupo para siyempre makatulong sa ating bayan. Yeah?
Yes. And speaking of fighting misinformation and even disinformation, there is a Vlogathon happening. This is the Break the Fake Blogathon. Alright, so this is a mobile vlogging and documentary making competition which aims to spread awareness on the harmful effects of fake news. I quote, make sense of our available data to reach more people. This is the data provided by Break the Fake movement. Also, this aims to make reporting of fake news and disinformation as easy for everyone as possible. So, the deadline for entries is on August 31. It's open to 18 to 35 years old. You can submit as a group and or individual, and your material should be 5 to 15 minutes only. And kailangan mobile phone lang ang gamit mula shooting hanggang editing ng material. So this is really interesting. Also, Break the Fake movement says, in response to COVID-19, we have an available data spreadsheet containing centralized information on Philippine efforts to mitigate the pandemic's effects. We expect participants to make sense of the data and turn them into assets such as infographics, informative videos, photos, spoof ads, or other creative media forms. So yeah, for those who are going to join, first place could win up to 10,000 pesos in cash, second place 8,000 pesos, and third place 5,000 pesos. So this is organized by Break the Fake movement in cooperation with Facebook. So for more details, you can visit their website, breakthefakemovement.com, or their Facebook page, Break the Fake Movement. So again, the deadline is on August 31st, and your material could be anything, basta bawal daw lumabag sa protocols ng social distancing and ng quarantine safeguards and quarantine protocols, because you will be disqualified kahit nakapag-submit ka on time. So the rules are also posted on their website. So yun, we actually invite you guys to participate in this Vlogathon. Just using your mobile phone, you can speak up.
Yan,
and
so,
spread information.
Right.
Yes.
So, lahat ng mga viewers natin na mahilig mag-shoot ng kanilang mga camera phones, mga smartphones, gamitin nyo yan at sumali kayo dito sa Break the Fake. Okay, on Wednesday, guys, very interesting ang ating topic. Ano yun, Eya?
We're going to talk about the youth's voice amid this pandemic.
Yes, and of course, yung mga issues na lumalabas ngayon, and our guest will be Congresswoman Sara Ilago on Wednesday night. So kung meron kayong mga questions na gusto nyong itanong namin, sabihin nyo na po sa amin para mapaghandaan namin yung mga questions na yan.
Yes, and on Friday, we will celebrate the World Environment Day on Friday. So it will be we will co-present the episode with the 2030 Youth Force in the Philippines. We'll talk about how taking care of the environment actually impacts our health also, and how we could stop another pandemic from happening again.
Alright. Maraming salamat. Okay, so once again,
yes, kita-kita ulit tayo dito sa Daldalang Walang Curfew.
Usapang di nalalockdown. Ito po ang QuaranTALK.
QuaranTALK. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/QuaranTALK online.
Live po tayo lagi dito sa Facebook page ng Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 p.m. Muli, ako po si Jules Guiang. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jules Guiang.
Yes, and connect with me on Twitter at Aya_Antonio and on Instagram at Aya Antonio.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
See you on Wednesday.
Stay well. Have a good week.